Good afternoon, Ben.
Hey, how's it going?
My question is on Marbury v. Madison and
Yeah.
judicial review. Would this be your primary argument against Roe v. Wade, that it was passed and it isn't in the Constitution? And do you think, as a follow-up to this, do you think it would be a better stance for social conservatives to take a libertarian approach, to say that you're against abortion for the moral reasons, but that you would support it if it was passed through the states?
No.
The House?
So when it comes to Marbury versus Madison and the place of judicial review, I don't like judicial review as a basic element of the system. I think it's quite controversial whether Marbury versus Madison was correctly decided in the first place, because I don't think that the founders meant to create a super legislature of people who are the wisest and best among us to decide what the Constitution means. It's still kind of hotly contested in conservative legal circles whether judicial review is a thing. When it comes to abortion, the chief argument I have against Roe v. Wade on the constitutional level is that nowhere in the Constitution does it say there's a right to abortion, because there is no right to abortion in the actual Constitution of the United States. In fact, there's not anything even remotely approaching a right to abortion in the Constitution of the United States. However, when it comes to my moral stance on this, I'm not libertarian on abortion in the same way that I would not be libertarian on slavery. So in 1856, there was a very widespread debate in the United States between Abraham Lincoln and Stephen Douglas. Stephen Douglas basically took the decentralized position on slavery. He said states should be able to decide for themselves whether or not they wish to preserve slavery or not. Why is it my business? It's not my state. It's not my life. The same argument could easily be made about abortion. Why is it my business? It's not my body. It's not my life. It's not my child. So, if a state decides to be liberal about abortion, well, that's their business. If you believe that human life is being violated on a fundamental level by abortion itself, you cannot stand idly by and then kick it to states for a libertarian cause. I'm fine with libertarianism on causes that do not involve a violation of the most basic right, the right to live. That is not something where I'm willing to devolve that to the lowest level, the same way I'm not willing to suggest that any state that does not prosecute murder would be allowed to do that under the Constitution. The Constitution of the United States does not allow a state to simply say that murder is no longer a thing, or slavery is fine. I'm not going to pretend that this is an issue on which libertarianism has anything to say. In fact, you can be a pro-life libertarian simply by saying that there is a fundamental right to life that ought to be protected for those who are unborn.